All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the channel. Mr. Dan and Horror here with my special guest, the Horror Cat Dad. Okay. We've been, I've been an admirer of his channel and his whole setup for a long time now. We've both been doing some reviews of some of the Jada Toys Universal Monsters figures. Got my Creature from the Black Lagoon shirt on tonight.
Nice.
um, and of course, the Horror Cat Dad has all kinds of different figures, different many different companies. Whereas for me, being like a diecast car collector, I mostly know Jada from like diecast cars. Actually, trucks is their thing. So they make like a little bit larger scale trucks. This is like a what is that? F-150 Raptor, but it's got like some Christmas decals on it. So they usually do like a couple Christmas ones and then sometimes a couple Halloween ones. So I look for those. I've got a couple like Fast and Furious ones. I'm not even into that franchise, but I like the Charger. So, that's mostly where I know them from. And then they started coming out with some movie tie-ins with little tiny metallic figures. And then a few years ago, something popped up somewhere where I saw that they were getting into the Universal Monsters, and they came out with the initial 4. So I said, "Oh, I got to get those." And eventually, I did. That was during the supply chain slowdown, but eventually, I did get them. So how did they get up on your radar initially?
Well, I had seen them online, and then I started when once stuff started kind of opening up. I would see them at conventions and stuff like that, and I would see them on websites and stuff like that. So I kind of knew about them, but when I first started collecting, I wasn't collecting like I was only collecting NECA,
Right.
and it was only Universal Monsters. And
Okay.
then that was before I started the channel and everything like that. So then, as I mean, I'm a huge Creature from the Black Lagoon fan. So I got the first one I picked up was the Creature because it's a Creature, and that's from there. When I reviewed it, I was like, wow, these are actually pretty solid. When I first saw them, I was kind of like, they're kind of like cartoonish, whatever. I want something
Yeah.
that's a little bit more. Again, I always say NECA spoiled me,
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just ever since I got that one, I was like, wow, these are actually pretty legit.
Yeah.
So
And really, they pretty much started off with the Universal Monsters. I mean, that's you know, uh, I suppose if you were doing like I don't know James Bond or something, it might be a little bit easier, because when it come to the Universal Monsters, there's some things that people really look for. Uh, but one of the things you mentioned about these figures is the price point, so you got to factor that in. And there's still some deals like you can get 2 for like $40 on eBay, or so, I mean, you might see one or a single one for like 26, but if you look around, you can find them cheaper for that. They're still out there. Uh, Now the glow in the dark creature, it's the only one I have 2 of, because I'm a sucker for glow in the dark and Creature from the Black Lagoon. This I found at FYE, and I know a couple other people did too. I thought that was weird. It seemed
nice.
like initially it was like an online thing, and then all of a sudden the glow in the dark ones were at FYE. But yeah, let's take a look at the comments real quick. Pugwall had jumped on even before we started, everyone, and said, I'm off to bed, but just wanted to pop in and show support for 2 awesome channels. We'll watch in full tomorrow. Yeah, actually, I have an announcement to make when my son gets home from college. It's going to be UK oriented, but that'll be like next month. But we'll do a live stream. I'm going to do a live stream for that with my son.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I got him into all these movies like a couple years ago. It was just like forced fun, like, we're gonna
Yeah,
sit
yeah.
down and watch these movies. I'm gonna introduce you to
Nice,
some
nice.
cool movies. Of course, we started in order. So the Mummy. I mean, actually, no. I think we did Dracula first, and then the Mummy. Woo, that was Mummy can be a little hard to get through,
Yeah, yeah.
but still good. And we haven't, and we'll talk about this at the end. But so far we don't have a Mummy figure yet from Nick because they're not done yet. So that's the encouraging thing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I hope they're not done yet. I mean, I don't, see why they would stop now. Uh, and then Alucard says, "Good evening, gents." Julie Adams, right? We'll get to that. Okay, I'll mention it now. Well, no, I'll wait. But I posed my creature from the Black Lagoon as if he was looking up at Julie Adams. You know, the classic pose. You know, I had to do it. Echo Cero, meow. Hello, meow.
Hey, Echo Zero, how's it going?
Yeah. Okay, so we're just gonna go. We're just gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start with 7 and 6, and then the hard cat's gonna jump in and do 5 through number 1. Fortunately, your last review was Bride of Frankenstein, right? So you did recently pick that one up,
Yes,
and then
sir.
right before that, I learned about the Bela Lugosi Dracula from you, so I picked that one up. So we're all set.
Nice.
So I'm going to start by saying the 7th one from the bottom. I don't hate it. I kind of like it. It's kind of a shame. I'm almost surprised, but I'm going to go with Frankenstein himself.
Oh
Like
wow.
we talked about, he's hefty, so that's a good
Hmm.
thing. I mean, he's significantly bulkier and bigger than a lot of the rest of them. He's got some cool chains. One of the other hands is like real wide, which I like because he can actually fit it around the wrist of like one of the other figures. But as we talked about, the other head, it's it's almost like they were going for a comedy,
Yeah,
you know, like a comedy look, like a Herman Munster kind of a look
yeah,
to
or
it.
like maybe like Young Frankenstein or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah.
Like maybe they were thinking of that, and then they put the grin on him or something. I don't know. Like I said in my video, if you look at the head from the side, it's like it looks like he's grinning, like he's.
Yes, right. Yep. um, it's cool, and the chains come off, so it's pretty cool, but it's got to go somewhere. So that's my 7th, and then my 6th is again. I like it. Uh, yeah, the Wolfman. Okay, uh, looks pretty good. Uh, the 2 heads are kind of similar to me. That's one of the problems. There's not a whole lot of difference there. The other 2 hands are really good. They're supposed to like grabbing. See, I told you I'm gonna do that like every single time. And then, but the extras are really cool. The cane
Yeah, the cane.
is really pretty cool. More about that in a second. And then you get the trap is pretty cool and it moves. And I know NECA has a trap too, right?
Yeah, they have the
Yeah,
functioning
yeah. It's like
trap
a
too,
function
which I
trap.
thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Now here's my thing. If you're gonna have the cane, why not have one head be a Larry Talbot head? You know what I mean? Especially if you got 2 heads that are like so similar. And even the hands, you could have like half furry hands or something. I don't know. I think there's a little more they could have done there with that one.
My thought process and my theory is because of the likeness. Like they don't have
Ah,
Lon Chaney Jr.'s likeness, like
yeah,
the rights to it. Well,
right.
the reason being is because like um well we'll get into it once we kind of
Yeah,
go down further,
yeah,
but that's my theory
yeah.
about it.
But that is funny. Like the way that works, I actually have some diecast cars, some Dracula cars. They do not have the Universal Monsters logo on them, but on the back it says licensed by the estate of Bela Lugosi. So
Hmm.
I was surprised by that. Actually, kind of happy though that some of his relatives are getting some money because we know that he died like pretty much penniless. But that was like kind of strange to me. But licensing is wild the way it works. The things you're allowed to do and not allowed to do, and yeah. Uh, I still argue that Alucard says I still argue that you can call the monster Frankenstein as well because he was created by Dr. Frankenstein. The name would carry over. Yeah, I'm not one of those people who's like actually.
Well, I mean, even on the box it says Frankenstein.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, on both on the NECA one, on the Jada one, it says
Right.
Frankenstein. It doesn't say
Yeah.
Frankenstein's monster. I tried to say Frankenstein's monster. I'll say Frankenstein every now and again, but it's like I say Frankenstein's monster because again, I don't want to, get people have a
Right.
panties in a bunch,
Right.
where they're
Right.
like, well, actually, it
Right.
is.
Yeah. That's what happens. Uh, that's why I like reviewing the Hammer Frankenstein series because I have another review coming out soon of the 4th and 5th movies because it follows Dr. Frankenstein. So it's almost hard to slip. Every time you say
Right.
Frankenstein, you're talking about Dr. Frankenstein, and most of them a few of them don't even really have a monster. They just find a poor schmuck to put someone else's brain in. So, so you're pretty much on safe ground there. All right. Well, that brings us to number 5. Do you want to do your fifth one? Fifth from the bottom?
So this is a tough one because, and it might be surprising, and I might, get an enemy that's hanging out in the chat right now.
Uh-oh.
Oddly enough, my bottom of the barrel one is this one.
Okay.
Only reason is because of the likeness, but I absolutely love the packaging of this one. I was very, very, very impressed by the packaging of this. I mean, the look of everything else, the accessories that it comes with, everything else, I was super, super excited.
Yeah.
And yeah, like when I actually opened it up and I saw his face, like I don't know about it on yours, but on mine, the eyes look like they're painted weird. They're
Okay.
painted like off. I don't
I
know if
see.
it's.
Yeah. I
You see
see
what I
what you
mean?
mean. Almost like it was like they were trying to depict him under some lights or something, or I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I
There's
don't
like,
know. It just looks really weird. So that's
yeah.
why, beyond that, I mean, I love the articulation. I love the everything as a whole, but I even feel the secondary head doesn't look like him.
No.
Like I feel like almost that secondary head is just from the regular Dracula
Yeah.
release.
Yeah. It looked to me like from here up, it was the same, and the mouth, the chin was just a little bit different, but
Hmm.
yeah, that's what it kind of seemed like to me too. Alucard says a bad face drives me crazy. Yeah.
And yes, the bed disapproves.
Yeah. And that's the other thing with these iconic actors. They all had this certain look about them.
Oh
So if
yeah.
you don't, it's hard, right? If you don't get that
Hmm.
right, the
Hmm.
fans know. Even like the card art on a lot of the diecast that I have, they sometimes they just go for like a generic Dracula,
Right.
like a guy with a long face and a widow's peak, and they're not trying to do Bela Lugosi. Maybe it's because of some kind of licensing thing, like you said. But my fifth, speaking of that, I think they actually did a pretty good job with the face, because this actress had a very distinctive face. My fifth, and again, I still like it a lot, is the Bride.
Wow.
Yeah, comes with 2 chains, these like bollard things, both of them. The other head is like just a chillax head. There's no scar. There's supposed to be a scar under here. Even the
Hmm.
like the reaction figure has a little scar. It looks like magic marker because that's the way they look
Right.
on the figures. But and then it's like you said, the one hand is like a heavy metal hand.
Yeah.
But and then the other one, oh, it's in the bag. I can't get it out. The other one has like the it's almost like wrapped like a mummy, has like a
Hmm.
little wrap hanging off it. That was a pretty good touch. And it's like you said, it feels kind of unusual. It's like it really feels like she's
Yeah.
wrapped up with like gauze or something. Yeah. So I liked it. I mean, I like it. I think the size is good. Uh, she was actually kind of tiny. They made her look a little bigger than she was, of course.
Hmm.
But I think it works out pretty well overall. It's just Oh, and what I was going to say, the face. She had that like distinctive nose and everything. They did a pretty good job. It's pretty close, not exactly.
Yeah, for that one, I would I definitely like the it's close enough
Yeah,
on her face, and I think the one of her screaming is probably my favorite of the 2 head sculpts. I like
yeah,
that one
yeah,
a lot.
yeah. Because I mean, you think about the limited time that she's actually on camera. That's the iconic part.
Hmm.
Is the scream. She's kind of got that twitchy face, and then she screams, and that's it.
Yeah.
And are there any other major characters, iconic characters, who've had so little screen time when you think about it? It's crazy,
No.
right?
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's the thing. I know a lot of people will argue that Bride of Frankenstein is just as good as the original Frankenstein. I mean, I know people that have said that it's better than the
Yeah,
original Frankenstein. I'm like, wow, really? That's. I mean, I can see why they mean, or I can see where they're coming from.
yeah,
I think it's really good.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think he was trying to do some different things with it. Um, some of the special effects with like the little people and everything, they're cool, but I don't really know why they were in there. They're kind of superfluous to the plot. There's some of that in there. Yeah, to me, it's real close. It's real close. I probably would go with the original, but just barely. But the second one is good. My son, those two films, my son really enjoyed. It's funny to watch these films with younger people because at the end, it's like pull the switch, castle blows up, credits, and he's like, "That's it." Hour and 15 minutes, done. There's no like drawn out climax. It's just boom,
Nope.
tragedy, done. He was like,
Nope.
"What?" All right, so that was my
Fifth.
turn. Is it? Your turn for number 4, right?
Yeah. So number 4, and just before, if I had the Wolfman, that would probably be my bottom.
Okay.
So if I had like the whole line, I would
Yeah.
say the Wolfman is probably my least
Okay.
favorite. If I had it, it would be my bottom of the list. Actually, my next one, number 4, is going to be Frankie himself.
Okay. Okay.
I do like this figure a lot.
Mhm.
Like you said, I like the weight of it. I like that he actually feels like heavy, like Frankenstein would. Like he's beefy. I like that. And I really, honestly, I didn't have any issues with the figure whatsoever. Yeah, I'm surprised with these guys. They're like you said, the chains are really cool. I found out later that he has the 2 chains. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Like where I've seen it, he's wearing like one chain and then the other chain is a smaller chain. So they're both for him. I was thinking, I don't know, and I like that they're functioning too. I thought
Yeah,
that's
right,
pretty cool.
You can link them up with the bride's chains if you wanted to.
Yeah,
Go crazy. Yeah, I
yeah,
just found I was cleaning up the other. I just found a piece of chain. It's like hard and stiff, and I'm like, I have no idea what it's from. I think it might be from one of my Iron Maiden figures, one of my Eddie figures. But first, I thought it was to one of these, but I was like, no, that's a whole different kind of a chain. Echo says we need an Alucard dressed as Bela Dracula. Yes, Kickstarter for the bat.
I
By the
mean,
way,
would you
that he
go
did
ahead?
a matinee today, and it's flying right out of my brain, but he can type it in the chat. It was the horror host that he grew up with actually made a movie in the early 60s. He later had a comeback in the 80s, and that's when Alucard watched him. But it was wacky and goofy and fun. Morgus, I think it was his name. But yeah,
Yeah,
really
the Wacky
interesting.
World of Dr.
Yeah,
Morgan.
right. Yep. Wacky World of Dr. Morgus or just
Yeah,
Morgus, something like that. Yeah, it
Dr.
was
Morgus.
yeah. And speaking of horror hosts, my friend the Mad Bloods are in the chat. What's up, Dan and Kat and chat peoples? Got to check
How's
out
it
the
going?
Mad Bloods channel. We just did a review of a kung fu movie, everyone. It's coming out soon on the Mad Bloods channel. We had a blast, so check it out. Thanks for stopping by. All the way from Australia, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's just like Ginger Ninja. He's down from
Yeah,
Australia.
they've actually done collaborations
Oh,
together.
nice.
Yeah, they did Disney's The Black Hole, and yeah, they've collaborated a few times. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah, I think my only complaint is just that extra head sculpt. But other than that, if not
Yeah.
for that head sculpt, everything else is awesome on
Mhm.
that figure.
Right. If they could have captured him like when he's doing one of his like pensive,
Mhm.
I'm alone, or something, just captured that look in his face, that would have been like perfect, but not easy to do. I can understand, that's understandable. But okay. So what are we on now?
It's your 4.
My number 4. Oh yeah, my number 4. Okay. I'm going with the regular Dracula. And it's a pretty good figure. I mean, it's got a soft cape. Kind of looks like a generic Dracula in a way. And check this out, Alucard. I got an accessory for you.
Oh, nice.
I got a bat. Now the bat actually has like the claws are like this. You can actually like stick a toothpick or something in there if you wanted to and stand it up. The other head is pretty cool. It's like an open now.
Nice.
as you might expect. You kind of need that. And then the fingers are pretty cool. Kind of grabbing, but not quite to the extent. We'll get to the other one in a minute. The other one really does a better job at that. And then it's got a little candlestick. It's shaped like a dragon.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah, says the Mad Bloods. Yeah, Frankie baby, Echo. Now, what they should have had as an accessory is that the lamp with the piece of cardboard stuck to it. Do you know about that?
That would have been cool. That would have been pretty funny. Well, that's the
How
thing.
did you not notice that? You've got a lamp with a big piece of cardboard stuck to it, and then I think they even moved the lamp. It's in another scene.
Exactly. It's not even in like just one scene. Like,
right? What is that about? I don't understand. Like,
I don't know. That's like I've seen videos where it's like they point it out, and then it's just like, I mean, it's clear as day in the film.
right.
Especially when if you watch it. I saw you had the I think it's a Blu-ray behind you on your shelf.
Yeah.
And I know because I have that same copy, and yeah, it's just like you see it clear as day on that Blu-ray transfer. And I have to say, like, kind of to go off tangent,
right.
They did an excellent job on that transfer.
Yeah,
like it looks gorgeous. Like I see it. I saw it when I first bought it, and I was like, man, this looks like it's a movie now, but obviously not.
right. But it's once someone tells you about it, or you know about it, it's like you can't not look at it.
No, you can't unsee it.
Yeah. And the Mad Bloods say would love to see the possum or the armadillo in the opening scene as an extra with the figure for Bella. Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah. All right. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4.
So number 3. Yeah.
Yep.
So continuing with the undead people, I'm gonna go with the bride. I actually like the bride figure more than the Frankenstein figure. This completely, I liked everything. Like both head sculpts, the accessories. I mean, I really think the bandages are what really they did an amazing job on this one. The texture feel, all of that just feels really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I have no complaints with this figure, and I think I said it in my video too, in my review. I was blown away by it.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is kind of cool. It's interesting, the arms and legs. Not that you really can see the legs, but they're the same way.
What I will give this one over, oddly enough, the NECA one, is this one actually has peg holes on the feet. The NECA one doesn't have that.
Oh, no?
So, no, it doesn't, which doesn't make sense because she's a little bit hard to stand. And this one, I have the little stand things, so I can actually use it for this one. But no, she was standing pretty good on her own. And the NECA one stands, but you kind of have to work and get her to stand.
Okay. Yeah, the Wolfman, I had a little trouble standing on its own.
Mm-hmm.
I love the peg holes. You would think maybe they would come out with something to stick a stand that had pegs. I don't know. Maybe in the future. I would like to see them come out with some accessories, for people that have a few of these that, like that. We'll see. But yeah, that is a good feature. All right. So then my next one would be the other Dracula, Bela Lugosi as Dracula. And, I think it's pretty cool. Like we talked about, it doesn't quite capture. What do you think, Roll Man Blood? Does this look more like Bela Lugosi than this? Where is he? It's pretty much the same. The cape is different, which is kind of cool. It's like a wiry kind of a cape. You can kind of mold it a little bit. And like you said, the packaging, different kind of a box.
Yep.
Yeah, really cool. Little playbills. It's kind of a different kind of accessory. Yeah, definitely like it. Pretty cool. And the professor is here.
Hey, Professor.
Super off. That bride figure is screech worthy. The second is better for the Mad Bloods. Okay. Yep. Yeah, it's closer to Bela Lugosi, I think, but it's, it doesn't quite capture the essence. Red Cape Bella. Oh, you like Red Cape Bella. Okay.
Yeah, I definitely now want to get that one.
Yeah.
Now that I have the other one, like I want to get this one because seeing it now, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna like this one more than the Bella, at least just because of the head sculpt. I'd rather have the generic. Plus, if you think about it, you can probably head swap and
Yeah.
have both heads on the two different figures.
Yeah. I know when I was making my video, I had one of them over here and one of them over here because I didn't want to mix up anything. I was in not give people an accurate review. Because what the other thing I wanted to mention was the hands, though. The hands that are grabbing on this one are much more extreme. So I give them credit for that. They didn't just take the same hands and throw them in again. This one is much more of a like at the end, like
Right,
at the end of
legit. It's
Hobbs Horror. Yeah, in his videos he has that scene where he does this. It's like I don't even know how he does that with his fingers.
yeah.
He
I
like
mean,
double
the
joints
fact that
fingers.
they got that, the fact that they got that on that figure, I was like, man, that's really cool. They didn't cheapen out just
Right.
by doing just like the other figure. So
Yeah.
again, I give Jada a lot of props because even the Bella Lugosi one, it's like the white suit, the gray cape. Like they didn't just reuse. I mean, obviously, I'm pretty sure the mold they reused, but except like they changed it up, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. 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 No, there's definitely some people there that are really putting some thought into these, which is pretty cool. And Jim is here. What's up, gentlemen? Mayan is here. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mayan.
Hey, man.
Echo says we need a Professor Macabro action figure. Absolutely. 100%. Mayan Troma's #1 fan is in the house. Oh, what do you guys got, Mayan, watching now? Hello, Mayan. Just give the cat dad a sub. Oh, cool. Thanks. And by the way,
Oh,
Professor just passed 300. So
yes.
that's good. So keep going. He's gonna shoot up like fast. I'm telling you, he's really is very generous too in the community. Okay, yep, all caught up. Yeah. So next is number 2.
Down to 2.
Yep. Go ahead.
A lot of people are gonna think I'm a traitor for this, but I have to be true to the ranking. My number 2 is Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As much as I love Creature from I mean, this was the first one I bought, and I love the Creature from the Black Lagoon. This one, it's still the lips, and I don't know. There's everything else is perfect on this figure, and the lips that I don't know, just kind of stands out for that sculpt. The other one, that one is really good. I like that one.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
Yeah. But no, beyond that, the sculpt, everything else is amazing. The net, the harpoon gun.
Yeah.
And the fact that they gave you the fossilized hand.
Yes. I didn't know what it was. I looked in the package. I was like, is this a face hugger from Alien? What got in there? And then I remembered, oh yeah, there's a fossilized hand in the movie.
See, and that's the thing. NECA didn't do that.
Oh yeah, right.
So another thing that they have over NECA is they included that fossilized hand. I just like when I saw that, I was just like, man, that's cool. That's really cool.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And Mr. Bones is here talking about passing gas and other things. Jim that loved the Creature from the Black Lagoon figure. Yeah, I love it. Got my creature shirt on. Got my creature poster behind me. Got my creature mask around the corner. But so it looks like we swapped 2 and 1.
Oh, okay.
It's my number 2. It was close. These two were very real close. And actually, I just got this, I don't know, maybe a year ago, the Legacy set for this. And wow, I had so much fun watching those 5 movies on the Legacy set. It's funny because my brother would come home from work. He's like, what are you watching? I was like, Invisible Man. Next day, what are you watching? Invisible Man Returns. What are you watching? Invisible Agent. Invisible. By the time I got to Invisible Woman, he was just like, oh, what? But the Invisible Man, it is definitely like a cool figure. Just top to bottom, the robe and everything. Now I've got him. The hands are great because he's got a hand that's pulling off a glove. Of course, this is just a glove, so he wouldn't even have another hand. But just to show everybody, I put the one in and put the flask in it. And then he's got more hands. He's got a fist and a hand that grab. Oh yeah, a hand that grabs something. So what is it? This one, this hand you can use with the other head,
Mm-hmm.
which is just the bandage is coming off, which is really pretty cool.
Yep.
That's pretty smart. And then it's got a hat. It's got a hat. Ah, there we go. It's got a little hat and a little book.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what the book is for really, but there's books in the movie. I don't know.
I
So
think
that's
it has his.
my number two. Very
I,
really good figure.
I think it has like it's from the movie where he has like
He
his
put something in
formula
it.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Do what?
Does he put the secret formula in it or something?
I think he has it in the book. I
Yeah.
think, if I'm remembering correctly, it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah. And one of the hands can grab the book, so that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Definitely a cool figure. Yep.
Yeah.
So I guess that would be your number one.
Yeah. Oddly enough, yeah, that is my number one. Like you said, this guy to me, this is absolutely perfect. I had no issues whatsoever. I mean, all the other ones I had like a little nitpick here and there. This one is to me is like perfect. From the articulation, I mean, just like you said, that hand was pulling off like, and it looks like it's just he's invisible from the him pulling the bandage up there. I mean, it's just all around. This was my favorite. This is my number one for sure.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I remember your review of it. You really liked it. Yeah. It's like extremely clever, the whole figure. And Jim says, or Mad Blood says, creature all the way for me. Jim says the creature wins. Mr. Bone says Invisible Man. He's like John Cena. You can't see him. The Mad Blood says such an iconic look. And Jim says, is that the Chevy Chase version? I don't think it's the Chevy Chase version. I'm not sure if we're going to get a figure up from that movie.
That'd be hilarious. No, I mean, and that's the thing, and everybody's saying the creature wins. Yeah, of course. For me, I mean, I have so many creature figures. It's kind of like obviously I have more of the creature than any other figure that I have.
Yeah. Right.
So
right.
it's like I can't. So for me, it was really hard to choose. In fact, my number one figure from last year was the NECA creature from the Black Lagoon.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is an awesome figure. I mean,
yeah.
That's the I think that's the only NECA figure I have. And it's still in the package, but yeah, that's an awesome figure. Definitely. So of course, my number one would be the creature from the Black Lagoon. And speaking of Julie Adams, what I like is that when it comes to the feet and the whole trunk rotation, because there's actually like 2 points you can rotate it, you can really recreate that scene in the movie where he's like looking up at her and swimming. It really is cool. And it's like you said, the hand, the harpoon gun. It would maybe be cool to get like a generic human to be holding the harpoon gun. I don't. That's asking a lot though, because that's like a whole another figure. But
well, I mean, even like I even have my other translucent NECA creature, like it's on my desk, like chilling with. Like I always have that open, just sitting on my desk. I mean, I love the creature from the Black Lagoon. It's just, I don't know. It's just that Invisible Man one is just amazing.
Yeah, it's not that there's anything wrong with this one, except maybe, like you said, the lips a little bit. But the other one is so darn good. Yeah, that's what it is. Yep. I'm shocked. I for sure thought Horror Cats Dad's all tea. I think I know what you're trying to say. Yeah. Okay. But yeah. Well, also the other accoutrement for Creature from the Black Lagoon is the net. Forgot about that. The whole net. That is like definitely like a cool thing. Because I've posed them a few times and made a few different Instagram posts where the other creatures have got them like tied up in the net, just for fun. But it's a sturdy net, and it's from the movie, so that's pretty cool. Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like I said, man, it was really hard to choose between 1 and 2. But I mean, all around, like I had no complaints with the Invisible Man. It was just like perfect everything from the accessories, the look, everything was just articulation, everything. Like I said, had no issues whatsoever with him. He was a perfect figure to me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why, I mean, and all these figures are great. Like like I said, there's nothing against any of these figures. I have my little nitpicks here and there. Nothing's perfect, obviously. I mean, even NECA figures aren't perfect, but it's just, I don't know, man. Just the Invisible Man was just my number one.
Yeah. 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 I'm so glad I got that. I've got back on the Invisible Man train. You know, I just, when I was a kid, I always kind of dismissed it compared to the other movies for some reason. I don't know why. So I'm so glad I went back and I got that Legacy set and I got back into them. I mean, I'm pretty sure I would have got the figure anyway because I was getting all the rest of them. But Mayan says that you just feel a certain kind of way today because you didn't pick the creature. Mr. Bones, when is the big race? Okay. Oh, you gotta pick out a truck, Hard Cat Dad, for my monster truck race. I
Okay.
think I'm gonna do a live stream and I'm gonna mix everybody's. I wrote down everybody. Well, it's not here, but I wrote down everybody's picks on a 3x5 card. I think I'm going to do a live stream this weekend and I'm going to make like a bracket for everybody and encourage people that haven't picked to get back to pick a truck. And then we'll do the race eventually, probably bit by bit. Let's see. Jim says, if I start buying memorabilia on top of the movies, I better start divorce proceedings. Mad Bloods, did I find a Bella adjacent car? Not Bella per se, but I think I have a Dracula car because I have two. They're not Hot Wheels or Spin Master. They're metal machines. They actually had the license for Universal Monsters years ago, so they had a truck for each one. So I have two of them open. One of them is the Bride. So the Newly Deads picked the Bride. And then somebody else picked, I think Jim picked the Wolfman. But I do have a Hot Wheels generic kind of a vampire one that you can pick. Mayhem picked already. By the way, anybody that has kids, if you want your kids to pick too, you can go back and pick out another one for your kids. That would be fine. But Mad Blood says, sweet. Okay, cool. Yeah, so then the other topic I just wanted to throw out to everybody in the chat, and I don't know, I've mostly just gotten into these figures. Sometimes I do a little window shopping online at NECA figures. I know there's some awesome Thing ones, and, I just haven't been Thing ones from the Thing. I'm not saying Thing one from Dr. Seuss, okay?
Or from
there's some
Adam's
really
Family.
cool ones out there. I just haven't gotten into them. And I know our guest today knows a lot more about those. So I thought it'd be cool just to come up with like 3 figures that you wish existed. And maybe if they do exist, Hard Cat Dad can tell us yes or no. So anybody in the chat, if you just want to type in what kind of a figure you would like to have, and not one of these because we know they exist, not Kurt Russell from the Thing. We know there's one of those, not Pennywise, not Freddy Krueger. We already know Michael Myers. We know that they exist. Something else. So I'll go first. I don't know, but this would be an awesome figure to have. Yul Brynner from Westworld.
Wow.
That would be cool, right?
Yeah. I
mean, different heads. Maybe they could have one like this, or if they could have it so it's actually a removable face, that would be like amazing.
I'm sure NECA could do that because they did that for the John Carver figure.
The mask?
I mean, the mask, it comes off and then you see like the eyes under it.
Okay.
The only bad thing about that is just that it has like a little peg hole like right in the middle of the face. So they would have to find a way to pull it up. But they also do some of the Predators, they'll have the mask separate. It's on older figures, and then you can put the mask on it. So, I mean, you could do that. The only thing is it just sits like right on the face.
Okay.
But those are older Predators. So, I mean, that would be pretty cool. Even if they just did the swappable heads, that would be nice.
Right. And really, like, if you would just want to put like a plain Yul Brynner head on there, it could almost be like the Magnificent Seven / Westworld, really. He's
pretty
basically
much
like an evil version of Chris from the Magnificent Seven. Pretty much the same look. And the Mad Blood says for him, and I know these are things we talk about all the time, Bigfoot and Wild Boy. And Birdman from Hanna-Barbera. He just did a Birdman episode when cartoons were cool. Check that out. Westworld, hell yeah, he says. Mayanne just got her John Carver figure today. That's cool. That's awesome. Professor Macabro says the Asylum shark has found its picker. Picky. Yeah, you picked the shark truck. Right. Words are hard. Yeah, the metal one. It's a metal shark. So that's because it's Asylum. You know they have Mecha Shark and Metal Shark trucks.
I want to say the closest thing that they might have, it's an old figure too. They might have a Harvey Birdman figure.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I have a Phil Ken Seven figure, and he comes with the bear. Did you ever watch that show, Harvey Birdman, Attorney at
Yeah,
Law?
I remember seeing it, but I don't think I ever really stopped and watched it.
Oh, it's hilarious. It's really good. Gary Cole does the voice for Harvey Birdman,
Okay.
and James Colbert does Phil Ken Seven. So like they released like a 2-pack, and I got the Phil Ken Seven with the bear. I got it way back in the day, and so I think I'm not too. I'd have to go back and look at the packaging, but I think they did a Harvey Birdman where he's like in a suit, but not
Okay. Yeah.
not a Birdman, but a Harvey
Right.
Birdman.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And someone else also mentioned Humanoids from the Deep. I missed that one. So then Jim says, oh no, here's Jim, the guy from Phantasm 2, who has a gold ball in his mouth, the burnt two-headed corpse from The Thing. Yeah. And Humanoids from the Deep. Yep.
Wow. Humanoids from the Deep, I can kind of see that as a maybe use the same mold as a creature, but change it up, like change up the hands and the feet and the head.
Right. Yeah. Just kind of like
I
hunch it
mean,
over more. Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
I think that could, they could do that.
Yeah. And then Jim also says he owns all 3 seasons of Harvey Birdman. Cool.
Nice.
So what do you have, Larry? What kind of?
So I had an idea for a mummy figure, for I guess for Jada, just so they can make it like a generic looking mummy. So what I would like to see, and I mean I don't know if they'll do it, but they already did the bandages for the bride, so almost do the same thing for the mummy, but have him in like have him in this Emotep like garb, and then you could take that off and have him in just in the bandages, and then maybe just have a swappable head from him as like the mummy to, Emotep, like his with the hat.
That would be cool. Definitely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. Definitely. Yeah. And I'm like really kind of curious to see as far as these figures go. I think possibly they could, because they came out with 4 and then they came out with 2, and then they had the Lugosi's Dracula as like a separate kind of thing. So I'm thinking maybe next the Mummy and Phantom of the Opera might be what they might release.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. And you know what, Jim? I'm sorry. When I saw Jim's movie channel, I was thinking of Now It's Dark, Jim. But this is Jim's movie channel. Yeah, check out Jim's movie channel, everyone. Cajun Dave says, hey, Cajun Dave, any good Crypt Keeper figures exist?
The ones that I know of they're from the cartoon. I've seen those.
Okay.
It's been a while though. I can't remember who makes them though, but I know I've seen like the comic or the cartoon version of the Crypt Keeper.
Right. Okay. Man says I've only seen the NECA one. Okay. Let's see. What do I have? Who do I have to contact to get a Dracula's daughter or the Tom Cruise female mummy figures made? Other than the bride, it's a real monster sausage fest out there. Yeah. It's pretty much. Yeah, I don't know about that bride figure. I mean the mummy figure from the Tom Cruise movie. Don't hold your breath on that one, but
she looks cool, but
she looks cool. Sophia
the
Botella, she's a beautiful woman, but
it's a horrible movie.
yeah. Now Dracula's daughter, that would be kind of a cool figure,
Yeah, I think NECA would knock that out really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely knocked that out. Even on the same topic, Lon Chaney again. If you can get like if you were allowed to make a figure that looked like him, but also looked like the character, Son of Dracula, because he's definitely has like a different look, playing a Alucard,
Hmm.
There's an April Bride one, says Mayan. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that one's pretty cool. I like that one. I feel like it's a cross between it's almost like it's a cross between like a Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas and April O'Neil. I see it more like that than the Bride. I mean, the hair is more like Bride of Frankenstein, but
Okay. Yeah.
that was a cool one. Um, Another one that I would like to see, and I know I've mentioned this before, I would like to see the Red Death version of Phantom of the Opera.
Okay.
I would like to see NECA do that because I think
Right.
NECA
Right.
would just kill it
Hmm.
with that figure.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. I think that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I think again, if they can do the likeness of the actor, if Jada were to do the Universal Mummy, you could, to me, half of the sort of the menace of that is Karloff as Ardette Bay, with the fez and everything,
Hmm.
that you one mummy head and one Ardette Bay head would be ideal. I don't
Yeah,
know if they would be able to do that, but that would be cool.
yeah. That's the one thing. That's the one thing I think would be cool if they had the one on one with the Fez and then just him like decrepit. That would be really cool,
Hmm.
And then just have a simple swap of like where you can pull the head off and then you can pull like his I guess like a regular cape or
Yeah.
something off of him. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And then my next one, again, there could be a figure out there somewhere, but uh, Mel Gibson from The Road Warrior with this kind of outfit, iconic jacket, and all the accoutrements from that movie. That would be awesome. Yeah.
I believe they did make some. Um, yeah, I think they did make a Road Warrior one not too long ago. Or I say that, but I think it's like a couple years back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I have seen one, if I can find a picture of it, I'll send it to you. But I'm pretty sure they did one. I think when they released the video game,
Okay.
they released the video game, and then they released some figures of it. I don't know if
Okay.
you heard of that figure or that video game, the Mad Max one.
No, so I'm really not like a gamer guy. I don't really follow along, but I know like a lot of times it is good when they come out because a lot of other stuff comes out with them.
Yeah, I think they, and then recently, I think this year was it this year or last year? They also released the Funkos of Road Warrior.
Okay. Yeah.
So those are more recent. So you
Yeah.
might be able to find those. I know I've seen Humongous and oh my god, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Vernon
Wes?
Wells' character. What?
Who's Vernon Wells? You mean Wes?
Yep. Yeah,
Yeah.
Wes.
Yeah.
Wes.
Yeah. Does he have his butt cheeks hanging out?
I don't know. That part I
Yeah.
don't know. I've only seen like the front, so he's
Right.
got the
Right.
mohawk and stuff.
What is I watched that on with Joe Bob once, and he was like, those are bare butox on uh on hot car hoods. He's like, that's a no. It's pretty funny.
Hey, but if anybody can do it, man, it's Vernon
Yeah,
Wells.
Vernon Wells could do it, sure. Yeah, I've actually I've tried to get some I have some Road Warrior / Mad Max diecast. I've got a couple larger ones. Uh the Interceptor and one of the enemy cars. Those are pretty expensive, but they'll come out with the problem with that is they'll come out with some like the Mad Max one, it'll with like the Interceptor with the yellow and everything, but they have to call it like the Interceptor. They can't put Mad Max on it, and it doesn't have that MFP on it. And I know like if I was talented or I know there are talented people that can make a decal and put it on there or something, but they don't like you know nobody's ever said, okay, we're just going to make all the Mad Max cars from the whole franchise in this one line and put them out. I don't think that's ever happened. It's maddening. So any horror host would make a fun figure. Yep, I agree with that. Elvira. I mean, I'm not into the Funko Pops, but I like the Toonie Terrors Elvira.
Yep.
Definitely like that. Her.
Well, they have her. They have. actually, I think they have like three versions of her.
Hmm.
They have Vampira. Well, if we're going horror hosts, they have Svengoolie, Vincent Price, and I think that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it. The Elvira one, they have, like I said, they have the three. They have the one where she's in her, black suit, her black dress as always, and then there's the other one with her and her dog on the couch. It's like a deluxe Toonie Terrors one. I don't know if you've seen that one. And then there's like a red glitter dress one that you could
Man
only
says it's
get.
for
What was that?
Christmas. Man says there's one for Christmas. Is that it?
Yes, but not a Toonie Terrors, a regular
Okay.
the
Okay.
the regular size. The Toonie Terrors one, there's a red dress version, a glitter red dress, but you can only get it in her. NECA released like some box set, anniversary box set, and it had like a T-shirt, a beanie, um, a patch, and then the figure.
Right. Okay.
So,
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Professor Macabro confirms that Elvira and Svengoolie for Toonie Terrors. Yeah. That any horror host. I mean, my guy was Dr. Shock. He sadly passed away when the show was still going. So I think he could have been bigger nationwide, but I would love to see. I've got books about him and everything I can get, but I would love to see a figure. Would be awesome. Actually, I saw somebody made like a custom figure. To be honest, I was like, it didn't really look like him enough for me to spend that kind of money. But yeah, horror host would be definitely pretty cool. Do you have another
another
one, Eric, that you think?
another one I would say, and it's trying to think because I mean, I could say one that I really want, but I know for a fact they're gonna make it because I heard from them they're gonna make it. Um, and they've already made it for Super. And another one that I want them to make, they've already made for Super Seven, but I just haven't picked it up yet. I'd like to see either NECA or even Jada maybe do a Metaluna mutant.
Oh yeah, okay, okay, yeah. Super 7 doesn't drive me nuts, but the advertising does because these things will pop up on like Facebook or Instagram. They had these Metaluna bottles. I think they were like shampoo bottles or maybe bubble bottles, kind of cheap, but there's three of them in a pack and they were different colors. And I was like, those are cool. Every time I see something like that pop up, I go investigating sold out, like every single time,
Yeah,
every single time. But yeah, that would definitely be pretty cool. Yeah, that's kind of an iconic creature for sure.
yeah, I
Uh,
think that would be pretty cool. Or um, one of the Metalunans, like just guys with the
yeah,
big heads.
right, right.
I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Professor says maybe I can order one of those life-size Japanese dolls that you can order to look like a character for display clearly. Yes, clearly. Yes, Professor.
I mean, NECA's making the Megan, which I think that is really weird, but okay. Have you
Um,
heard about that one?
what's that?
Have you heard about that one? The Megan, the life size Megan that they're
Oh,
doing.
yeah, yeah. A life-size make. I mean, is it
I
going to be programmed? Is it going to dance? Is it going to kill your annoying neighbor kid? I don't mean.
I don't know. I thought it was an April Fool's joke when I
Right.
saw it on neck pop up on Instagram. I was just like, "Is this real?"
Yeah.
And sure enough, I still see ads for it. I went to their site to go look at something else, and then sure enough, it's there. And I'm like, "That is nuts."
Yeah. Man says it's a pre-order right now. Jim's back, and he wants us to repeat everything from the last 10 minutes. And he also says that's some creepy shit. Yeah, it's pretty creepy. Uh,
Yeah.
my other figure that I would like to see, and again, these could exist, and considering I've got uh, this whole Shaw scope set here, you would think there would be a good picture of them in here, but not really. It's the five deadly venoms. Uh,
Wow.
if that's cheating, I would pick the Toad because he's one of my favorites, played by Lo Mang.
I
Uh,
I don't see why like McFarlane or McFarlane hasn't done something like that. Even back then in the old figures, because the old figures, McFarlane, they would do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean, heck, even the old NECA figures, the Kill Bill ones. I don't know if you've seen those. I mean, they did a great job on those, and those are old figures.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
I don't know. I at least I haven't seen those, so I don't. That would be pretty cool to see that whole like
Yeah.
old school samurai or old school.
Mhm.
That stuff would be nice.
Yeah, because that's, those it's just for me, man, when they came on like Kung Fu Theater when I was a kid, everybody in school was talking about it the next day because that was almost like Power Rangers before Power Rangers. Like it was like kung fu movies with superheroes because everybody had a mask and different sort of abilities, and yeah, we ate that up. Yeah, those would definitely be cool.
Yeah, well, I remember back in the day, USA way before Power Rangers. I vaguely remember late night seeing Super Sentai on USA Network,
mhm.
and I was later on when I saw Power Rangers. I'm like, why does this look so familiar? And then I realized it was from back then. Like, once I realized that Power Rangers was actually an old show that was already on, being shown in Japan. I was like, oh, so that's where they took it from.
Yeah, right, right,
And
yeah, yeah,
they're just superimposing or cutting
mhm.
in American stuff.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, just adding different voices in
hmm
every single country. Kind of a really like a marketing genius, really, when you think about it.
yeah,
Uh, and then Jim says, "Is there a lone wolf and cub figure? The cart could have blades coming out from the sides. That would be awesome." Yeah, I don't know if there is, but that would be quite awesome.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Um, Trying to think of everything that I mean, there's a lot out there. There's a
yeah.
lot of stuff that I've seen. There's a lot of stuff that like I've seen and then I didn't realize what it was. Like I never realized there was a Devil's Backbone figure.
Oh, really?
For yeah, NECA did one. It's like a deluxe, and it has the little boy, and then it has like the furnace or something like that in it. Um, it's the furnace. I saw it last year, and I didn't know that that existed. I was just like, wow, man,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. And then I almost bought it because I just love the way it looks, but I didn't end up picking it up just because I ended up finding something else, and you know, there's probably a creature from the Black Lagoon figure or something.
Have they ever come out with a how about like a creature walks among us figure? Because they experiment on him and try to make he they give him lungs and everything, and he looks a little more human. The face is definitely different, right? So
I think the only things I've seen are model kits
okay,
for that one because I
yeah,
know I've seen Revenge of the Creature. I've seen a model kit for that, and I want to say I've seen one for Creature Walks Among Us, a
mhm.
model kit for that.
Is he
But
even does he even wear clothes in that? I don't remember. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Creature Walks Among Us, yes,
Yeah,
it almost looks like he's wearing like scrubs.
yeah, right. Okay, that's what it is. Yeah, yeah, but that would be cool. Even if you just had a head,
That
interchangeable
that
head.
that face just, I don't know, man. Him being all like almost like a football player,
Right.
and I don't know, man. I couldn't get in. I just can't get a even Revenge of the Creature. It still looks like the Gill Man. It still looks
Yeah,
like
yeah,
him.
yeah,
And I understand they experimented on him and all that stuff, and
yeah,
but I don't know. I just
yeah. The idea, I think, yeah, the idea is definitely better than the execution for
yeah
the third one. I mean, it's kind of, they kind of went a different direction, and it's the third movie, so why not? But yeah, it didn't quite work out. But when it was on TV, I watched the hell out of it though, because
yeah. I
all
mean,
those movies, I watched them all when they came on. Yeah.
yeah. That's the thing too. Like when before I knew that there were movies, I saw a lot of them, in the library on the orange books. I don't know if you ever seen those or heard of those. But yeah, that's where I got my start. I saw those books, I took them home, and I was showing them to my mom. Like I was super excited, and she was like, "Oh, well, these are movies." And I'm like, "These are movies?"
Yeah,
And
I've
then
heard you tell
she's,
that before. That's wild. We had I don't know if they were called orange books, but we had similar ones. We had ones for wrestlers, so they were contemporary with the time. So we you know read we took turns checking all those out. And then I remember, I do remember like a Godzilla book and a King Kong book, and maybe a couple others. I don't know if it was the same series or a different series, but yeah, it's like when we found out that they had those, then you know,
Yeah,
that
they had they. I remember the King Kong one. The weird one, the one that was weird is the quote unquote the Wolfman was actually Werewolf of London was a
oh,
cover. Like
okay,
that's the one that's kind of like that's weird. And
yeah,
I'd like to see a Werewolf of London figure.
yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, that would definitely be cool. That's obviously quite quite a different look. Uh,
Hmm.
the story. I don't know if you've ever heard it, but apparently, like he was going to. Well, that yeah, they pioneered the makeup that they use in the Wolfman for Werewolf of London. But there's a scene when he turns into the werewolf, and then and one of the characters says, "Oh, that was you know, that was so and so," and the actor Henry Hull said, "Well, how would she know that? How would she recognize it?" So they changed the makeup and made him like half human. That's
Hmm.
what I've heard. It's definitely a different look. That would definitely be cool. Yeah. Um, Jim had the original $6 Million Man and all four of the original Kiss dolls. Yeah, when I was a kid, and I wish I still had them with the packaging. Yeah, I remember those $6 Million Man.
Yeah, we can look like through that. No, wait.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
there
can
was
look through
one
the
where
eye,
you
right, or
glimpse in
something
the
like
eye.
that.
Yep. Mayan's determined to get all the Friday the 13th figures that she sees. The werewolf Toonie Terror is so cool. Cool. Uh, Echo says he has the Jason figure from Todd McFarlane movie Maniacs. He's never opened it. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Nice,
That's pretty
nice.
cool. Yeah, I even a couple years ago, McFarlane came out with these metal beasts. They were like animal machine hybrids. And there's one that's like a snake, and it's got like metal. Some of the skin is metal, and then the tail divides into two metal pieces. And I
Hmm.
think there was like a dinosaur one and like a mecha ape one, but I only got the snake one, much to the chagrin of my wife, who's afraid of snakes. But uh, yeah, yeah, McFarlane, man, he's come up with some crazy stuff.
Yeah, but I kind of feel like at the same time, um, I kind of feel like he's gotten a little lazy though.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff that he puts out now, it uses a lot of the same molds, like a lot of the
Ah,
same bodies. I mean, especially with like the DC figures, like all those. Like, I don't collect those, but I see a lot of videos where it's like pretty much the same stuff. Where I see where like he has like some sort of like gauntlet on the figure, and then but it's completely blacked out. So they point that out, like the person reviewing it is like, oh, this is the same gauntlets as this person, but they just did pure black. They should have
okay.
done something to differentiate. So
Right, right,
I
right,
feel
right.
like the
Mhm.
only thing that like old school McFarlane was like a lot of good stuff. Like I still have like my old I have like a Metallica figure from McFarlane, and I have my Elder Predator from AVP, the first AVP film. I still have that one in the box, and yeah, the Spawn figures too. I mean, those are amazing, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I bet. Yeah. Uh,
But the lack of articulation though on those old ones—that's the
okay.
only downside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think they got it down pat now with the like multiple. To have the arms, not just have an elbow joint, but then to have another little,
Hmm.
almost like a hidden point in the mid arm. You could really like do anything with them. Uh, yeah. Jim says I also had the Ape Village and figures from Battle of the Planet of the Apes. That would be awesome. Uh, I remember coloring in a Planet of the Apes coloring book when I was a kid. That's about it.
Nice.
Um, let's see.
I remember the cartoon vaguely.
Yeah, I vaguely remember a cartoon. Yeah, yeah. And then I remember the series, and then they would package up 2 episodes of the series and call it a movie. And you would think, oh, because anytime one of the movies came on, like Conquest or Battle of the Planet of the Apes, wasn't the best thing you ever saw, but it was pretty good for Saturday afternoon. And then they would package up the TV show as a movie, and I was like, it's not as good. All right. Anything else you can think of that you would like to see a figure of?
Trying to think. Trying to think for you, just anything or Universal
Yeah,
Monsters as
anything.
well.
Anything.
Anything. So I know they're gonna make a. What was I thinking of the other day? I was thinking of something else the other day. I would like to see a an updated Jason X figure
Okay.
because I know McFarlane made one back in the day, and but I would like to see NECA do like an Ultimate Jason. First, for whatever reason, they stopped at 7. They haven't, but I don't. I say that, but at the same time, with the whole lawsuit with Friday the 13th, I think that's why they stopped.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So right now it's still kind of like in limbo. So I would really like to see like a Jason X.
Okay.
I know some people online they want a Friday a Jason Manhattan Jason.
Mhm.
I don't really like the look of that one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then maybe Jason Goes to Hell, but I definitely want a Jason X.
Yeah. Yeah. That one's obviously has its own unique look for sure. Yeah.
One
Definitely.
I just thought of too is and I think they would again, I think NECA would do a great job as Leprechaun.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I would like to see that. That would be really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Sure. Yeah. I won't make any jokes about half price or anything. I'm not going to make a joke about that. But anyway, you could have lots of uh, you know, things that go with that. I guess pot of gold. I don't know. Cajun Dave wants to know: does Hammer do figures? I don't know. Like Christopher Lee's Dracula or the Mummy or
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I
Okay.
think they're more statues though.
More like statues. Yeah.
Yeah, if Jim, if you go to a Mock Time Toys, they have statues of like Christopher Lee's Dracula. They have stuff there.
Okay.
I know
Yeah.
they do, and that they also have some cool Universal Monster stuff like the kits. They have some of the kits there.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, like I'm always like researching, man. So it's just
Right,
kind of like
right.
I see a bunch of stuff, but I think even I want to say I think even Last Toy Store has some like has a Christopher Lee statue of him
Okay.
as Dracula.
Yeah, more like statues though. Yeah, that would be cool if
Hmm.
you got some figures though.
Yeah, that'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
I mean, well, you can have like a whole Christopher Lee set. I mean, the Mummy, Frankenstein's monster, because that's a very unique looking face, obviously.
Yeah,
Very, very different. And Dracula, of course, you know. So yeah,
Peter
that would be
Cushing
awesome.
would be nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Peter
Do you
Cushing,
think they're gonna
Van
do
Helsing would be cool.
yeah. Do you think they're gonna do like another uh like a Boris Karloff oriented figure for Jada or uh,
For I would hope they would do for Jada. That would be kind of. I would be kind of curious how they're gonna what they would release with it.
yeah. Right.
Um, I know they did another one for NECA for Bride of Frankenstein when he's in the chair. So you can get that on NECA site right now, and it's
Okay.
like the chair, and it comes with that version of Frankenstein's monster.
Okay. Yeah.
So he looks a little bit different and everything, but
Mhm. Yeah.
yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I think Hammer. Most of the ones I've seen have been like more like statue
Yeah.
type
Mhm.
figures.
Mhm. Oh
Oh,
yeah. You know,
I almost forgot. I want to say I think NECA's gonna do something for Hammer. I
oh really?
think.
Okay.
I think because NECA they previewed something like from the neck down, like a prototype. It's not colored or anything, but people are speculating it's like a Hammer Dracula.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would definitely
But
be cool. Right. Right. And then there's that one I mentioned. I forgot. I was going to use my example. You have the actor who was in the Spanish Dracula.
mm-hmm.
I've had him at Carlos Villarreal. Is that how you say his name? I think.
Yeah, Vierio.
Yeah, I think. I think. But he, that would be for fans of the movie. That would be like big because he's definitely like very different looking kind of guy. you know.
He's, but it's interesting though, if you look at him and then you look at Nick, did you see Renfield?
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't
No.
seen it?
No.
Nick Cage almost looks like that version.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
See,
almost.
like a wide-eyed thing?
Hmm.
Like, yeah, okay. Yeah, because I noticed that he kind of like, made
Hmm.
his eyes real wide. And of course as far as the hands go, he had like kind of short, stubby fingers. So a little bit different there, but that would be pretty cool for sure.
Yeah, he still had a look to him, and then you know, he had some presence, like when you
Yeah,
saw him on screen. So I say go for it, man. If his estate or whatever, if they're cool with them doing it, I don't
yeah,
see why not.
yeah,
You know, again, for all I know, like that could be what NECA's previewing is that. Who
right.
knows?
Yeah, right, exactly. Uh, Jim also says, oh, man says Uber Jason, heck yeah. Jim says Marv from Sin City. That'd be cool. Vampire from Blade 2, the alien from Edge of Tomorrow. Man says no more turtles. Jim's movie. Nick Cage is awesome in Renfield. Yeah, I got to check that out for sure. Renfield. I wanted to see it.
They do have some. NECA did do some Sin City figures.
Okay. Yeah.
They did a Marv. They did Nancy, Yellow Bastard. I have seen that one. I've actually seen that one in the store for like dirt cheap too, and like fairly accessible. Gale, um, yeah, they have like six of them, six figures of those. So
Oh, that's
yeah,
cool.
Jim, they do have some Sin City ones.
Mm-hmm.
They also have some for Kill Bill. Trying to think. Yeah, and I agree with Man. No more turtles. Like
Yeah.
it seems like that's NECA's bread and butter for the most part. If you check out any of their whenever they preview something for turtles, you'll see in the comments everybody's like, "No more turtles." Where's this? Where's this? Why
Mm-hmm.
can't we get this? Why can't this? Y'all previewed this. Why? When are we getting this? So
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
get it. It makes money, but
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. I've got,
I don't.
if I wanted to, I could have had a car for each of them and a monster truck for each of them. And then they came out with the van. That was
Mhm.
actually something that took me it took me a little while to find it, but I found it. But that's the kind of thing that was popular for like 2 weeks. And then
Mhm.
they came out with it again the next year. So I got one of those. But yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, the only turtles that I have are the Universal Monster ones, the mashup ones from NECA.
Okay.
Those are the only
Oh,
ones I
right.
have.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, I I I was a huge Turtles kid. I had a ton of stuff when I was a kid. I had the blimp, I had the van, I had everything, and I had the Technodrome. But yeah, I can't I can't do it, man.
Uncle. Right.
Yeah.
Jim will look into that because he loves Sin City and time for the divorce proceedings. Yeah. That's why I always say I'm glad I'm not really into Funko Pops because, you got to draw a limit somewhere. Uh, yeah. And then like every once in a while, I'll think about like the old Ray Harryhausen movies and I'll think, because again, there's a lot of like statues and things out there for those old monsters. And a lot of them are, they're way up there. The skeletons and everything. But yeah, I try not to go down those rabbit holes.
Yeah,
Man,
that's the
I was
thing.
a man at a store yesterday. Yep.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, to Jim, if you're looking for those, a mock time, they have them. They have like the full all six figures for like 120.
Mm,
Which if you do the math, it's not too bad.
right, right.
But beyond that, me, what I always do is I'm always searching eBay, searching everywhere just to see where I can get the best price. Because
Yeah,
yeah, they can get really, really pricey, those older figures.
yeah. Cool. All right. Well, Jim's got to go anyway. Great talking to you. Thanks, Jim, for coming out. Check out Jim's channel, everybody. And man, so the Universal Monster Turtles are cool. Yeah, from the pictures I've seen, I may have even seen a few of those in the stores a while back. But yeah, those definitely look pretty good. Uh, but yeah, yeah, not good enough to go to buy for me,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, see that, and that's the thing too with with those. It was I was very much like, okay, I'm only gonna get the first wave, you know. And even the Casey Jones figure, I picked it up, but it took me forever to pick it up because I don't like it. Like I don't like the look of it. I think it looks like
Yeah,
sloppy and messy compared to the other ones. I feel like the beginning of that first wave, they have a distinct look and they look really really cool. I did obviously I had to pick up the creature from the Black Lagoon, Leonardo, and I still think that one looks kind of weird, but it does look better than the Casey Jones one. And now, like that, I've seen the Wolfman Raphael. Like I was like, it looked when I first saw it, I was like not impressed, but as I see it more and more, I'm like, you know what? I think I'm gonna pick it up. Um, but the Casey Jones, that's my least favorite of the
okay,
line.
yeah, 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 cool. All right, well, everybody, listen, we're gonna kind of wind down here, unless you have any last questions or anything, any comments about figures you'd like to see. Um, but I appreciate you coming out tonight. It's a lot of fun. We just kind of made this up on the fly, a couple weeks ago, and went with it. And if you guys are interested, definitely look. You can look these up online. And like we said, the price point of these figures are still pretty good for the time being, at least. And I don't think they're done yet. I think they're definitely going to come out with a couple more at least, and then we'll kind of go from there. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
are you
really
still
hope so.
doing your thing on Friday night with Don?
Yeah, as of right now, yes, we are. Yeah, we should be like normal time, 7 Eastern, 6 Central,
Hmm.
and I should have a video coming out tomorrow for review or reviewing a figure tomorrow, and yeah, that's pretty much it for the most part until next week,
Okay,
unless
cool.
something else comes up. I mean,
Right, right.
what about
Cool.
yourself, sir?
Yeah. I've got tomorrow's my normal physical media Friday. I'm supposed to be slowing down. So so what I do is I say, all right, I made a decision just to show off part of my recent pickups and things on Fridays as a way to sort of slow things down. But we'll see how. So now I have at least several months of material to show. So tomorrow is my recent Asian extreme horror pickups. So that'll be something a little bit different. And then this weekend, I'm probably, like I said, I'm probably going to do a live stream, kind of make a bracket for that monster truck race.
Cool,
And then,
cool.
of course, tonight is Thursday, right? So we have the midnight hour. Is it like 10 or 10:15? Probably on Hobbs's channel. So everybody check it out. I usually try to pop in and at least say hi. I actually tried to watch what was the movie they were doing with who is it? What's his name from the Wonder Years? Fred Savage,
Hmm.
the Howie Mandel one. Anyway, I fully
Oh, Little
intended to watch
Monsters.
that whole movie, and bam! Like 2 hours later, I woke up. I was like, what happened?"
See, that one's a tough watch because I feel like when I was a kid, I liked it, but as I got older, like I didn't like it.
Right? Yeah.
And I don't know why. I don't know if it's just it got annoying. I don't know. But when I was a kid, when I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty cool," and it has a lot of like horror elements in it.
Yeah. Right. Right.
There are some. As a kid seeing it, there are some like creepy parts of it, and some of the other monsters are pretty sinister. But I don't know what it is. Just as I've gotten older, it's just like I kind of grew out of it.
Yeah.
Although I still love Monster Squad.
Oh yeah, absolutely love Monster Squad. Yeah, after I definitely had to show my son that after we watched all the Universal Monsters movies, I was like, we gotta watch this. You know.
That's a now bringing that up. That would be a cool set. The monsters
Yes. Right. Right.
like if NECA did those figures or somebody did those figures like
Hmm.
as a set, man, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Very. Yeah. Because like little bit of a different look for
Hmm.
Dracula. A much taller, skinnier Frankenstein's monster. A different kind of a werewolf.
The Gill
Um,
Man looks great in that
yeah.
one.
Oh, that is a great Gillman. I'm not sure
Yeah.
why he was in the movie, but He just showed up and it was cool, but that was a great design, definitely. Because you really don't see there haven't been too many other interpretations of that.
Mm-mm.
And yeah, that he looked really good in that. Yeah, that would be a cool Gill man to have for sure.
Yeah, yeah, that would be a good one. I just thought about it right now.
Cajun Dave says Nards included separately, right?
I just thought of another one too, man. As we're talking about this, I'm like thinking of more figures. Um, the trickster from Brain Scan,
Okay, yep.
that
Mhm.
would be cool. And
Yeah.
then have him with like the separated the other head. The head swap would be like him, like the mouth opening. Like I don't know if you remember that movie at the end when he's like gonna swallow Edward Furlong.
Yeah,
And
right.
they already have like Edward Furlong figures from T2.
Right,
Just
okay.
reuse the mold and
Yeah, you're
there you
right.
go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. 'Cause it's around from that era, sure. And that's
Like
right. Man
Mecha.
says
Me-
Man reminds me that it's Hobbs's birthday celebration tonight on the midnight hour. Yeah, definitely cool.
Cool. I'll definitely drop in to say hi in the chat and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I get up early for work, so for me, it's like I have to 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm already like, all right, I gotta gotta settle in.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I used to be like that. I definitely just had to cut it off, and you know, yeah, I just couldn't stay up late, and occasionally I would just pop in the beginning of like a 10 o'clock stream, but that was it, and then I would have to just hit the hay. But I'm semi-retired now, so I don't have to worry about that. I just worry about granddaughters wearing me out. But but you know what though? I do need to get back to some kind of a schedule because when you don't, when you have like too much time, sometimes you waste time. This is what I'm learning. So yeah, but yeah, but I appreciate you coming on with me tonight and everything. And
Thank you, sir, for having me on.
yeah, no problem, no problem. And we'll do something again sometime in the future. And everyone check out the Horror Cat Dad's channel, of course. Everyone that's
Thank you.
left, and I'll talk to you guys later.